ReAnn Gonzalez here in El Paso, Texas. If buying a home is on your 2026 goal list, I want to clear up the biggest confusion I hear, and that is, okay, but what does the home buying process actually look like? Not the Pinterest version, the real one. Today, I'm going to break it down into 5 simple steps and walk you through a real life El Paso example. Okay, so now let's get into it. Step number 1. Before we talk houses, we talk life. This is where we figure out what monthly payment feels comfortable, how much you've saved, what your credit and income look like, your timeline. Are you wanting to buy now, 3 months, 6 months, or maybe after a lease ends? This step saves you from heartbreak later because the old school way, falling in love with a house first, is how people end up frustrated. Let me tell you about a couple here in El Paso. Let's call them Miguel and Vanessa. They were renting on the east side, paying more every year. And they said, ReAnn, we just need something stable. We don't want to guess anymore. So we started right here. We'll call it discovery. Step number 2. Pre-approval is the step that turns you from a maybe buyer into a serious buyer. This is where we verify things like income, credit, assets, debt, estimated payment, and we give you a clear price range and payment target so you can shop with confidence. Back to Miguel and Vanessa. They thought they'd qualify for one number, and once we cleaned up a couple of small things, they actually qualified a little stronger than expected. Not magic, just getting the facts lined up early. And once they had that pre-approval in hand, they felt like they could finally breathe. Step number 3. Now, you and your realtor go to work. But here's what I tell my buyers. Don't just fall in love with the kitchen. Look at the total monthly payment. Principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And HOA if there is one, because 2 homes with the same price can have totally different payments in El Paso, depending on taxes and HOA. Back to Miguel and Vanessa again. They started with a list of must-haves, and we kept them grounded. Love the house? Yes, but does the payment love you back? That mindset kept them from overreaching. Step 4. Once you find the home, your realtor writes the offer. This is where we get smart. What's a fair price? Are we asking for seller concessions? What's the timeline? Any repairs needed? This is a team sport. Lender plus realtor plus buyer all working together. Back to Miguel and Vanessa again. They found a home they loved and got nervous. What if we lose it? We stayed calm, wrote a clean offer, and structured it in a way that made sense for them without making a desperate decision. Old school rule is don't negotiate from panic. And lastly, step number 5. After your offer is accepted, we move into the closing phase. Appraisal if needed, underwriting, verifying everything, title work, insurance, final approval, closing disclosures, signing day, and my job is to communicate, keep you updated, and keep the process moving. And back to Miguel and Vanessa again. They said the best part wasn't just getting the keys, it was knowing what was coming next because they weren't left guessing. That's the whole goal. So that's the real process. Discovery, pre-approval, house shopping, offer, and then closing. If you're thinking about buying in 2026, start with the easiest step, discovery. No pressure, just a plan. Send me a message with the word 2026 and I'll help you map out your first steps right here in Texas or New Mexico. Happy New Year! Let's make 2026 the year you do this the smart way.